we were looking forward to actually working together, but we didn't have a scene together. He would finish his work, I would land in, or when I would finish, I would take off, and so we never got a chance. But we used to meet in Bombay in any case. So yeah, it's always great fun working with him. A lot of credit should go to him because he has been instrumental in bringing Bahubali to Pushpa to KGF 1 to all these films, and I think that's the thing about Anil. He knows how and where and how to pick the kind of films that he does. For me, it's a win-win because it brings a new life to the song. It gives it a good beat. I feel very honored. So I thank all the filmmakers who do this. Hi, this is Raveena Tandon and you are watching me on ETimes.
Hi, this is Amina Sheikh here, and with me today I have the very gorgeous actress Raveena Tandon, welcoming her on ETimes. So first of all, to begin with you, and there are...
First of all, to begin with, even I have to do this.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Raveena Tandon and I am with the most gorgeous Amina Sheikh on ETimes that you're watching right now.
Thank you so much.
I had to do that.
Thank you so much, ma'am. But this film, KGF 2, and the chapter 1 itself was such a huge blockbuster. And now being a part of chapter 2, how does that feel? Because of course you have done so many good films, and suddenly you are there in South with the most successful film of the year that time.
When Prashanth had already was writing while KGF 1 was on its last legs, was getting over. The last leg of the shoot was going on, I remember, and they had come down to Bombay to meet me and Sanju. And Prashanth had sort of not narrated, but he said, I would want you to be a part of part 2. And if yes, then we would want to shoot your shots keep in part 1 as well. So I said, but then has part 2, what my character is going to be, has it completely panned out? And he said, to be honest, it's not completely panned out yet. I said, Prashanth, then I don't want to make that mistake, though I'm dying to be a part of what your belief is. Then we don't know how it's going to materialize. But then I thought about it, and the way Prashanth comes across, he's so sincere, he has the conviction, he knows what he's making, he has the vision. And I said, okay, give me a couple of days to think. I took that couple of days to think, and I said, okay, I'm doing it. So it was just like that. It's just because when that filmmaker's sitting in front of you and he's so clear in his mind what he wants, then there's no two ways that you won't be a part of a project.
But at the same time, did you watch the first one?
Yes, I did.
Be a part of this.
It had not released yet then, but we knew that we were going to be a part of part 2, and I did watch part 1, and I totally loved it. Totally loved it.
Talking about Yash, he's so popular down south. So when you had to work with him, what was your thought in the mind? Because South is quite different as compared to Bollywood. Of course, we love Bollywood stars. But यहाँ पर जैसा है ना ma'am, the kind of work is quite different as compared to South. There, they actually worship them as God. So when you got to know that, okay, Yash is there and he has a different fan following, what was your reaction?
See, I'm not really not aware of what happens in the South. I've done a lot of South films.
Yeah.
Even in the 90s and even now. In fact, I think they are always at an advantage because they keep their traditions, their rituals, their culture so deep rooted and woven into their stories that it always hits with the masses. The masses always identify with their characters. And that is something very, very important that I think filmmakers should keep in mind, is not to go away from what your mass audience wants. So that is something which they've always kept alive, and that's really, really great.
At the same time, the film also has Sanjay Dutt, and you both are coming together after a very long time. Though he told me like you guys don't have scenes, but for us it's like, oh my god, Sanjay and Raveena are coming together, oh my god, they're coming for this film. So that was there, and of course you guys are working on some other project also, which is of course comes later on. But this association is there for such a long time. What was your reaction? Because you have known him for a very long time now.
Well, we were very, very happy that we're doing this film together, but unfortunately we had no scenes together, so to speak. But we were looking forward to at least hanging out one evening, and now it's been such a long association that it's so much fun. I always meet Mana and Sanju socially, and Priya's a friend, and we our sons are now in the same school together. My dad and Sunil Dutt sahab were very good friends. So it's always been a family, association kind of a thing. We were looking forward to actually working together, but we didn't have a scene together. But then that was, oh my God, I'm just leaving. Like I would be landing and he'd be finishing his work. So when he would finish his work, I would land in, or when I would finish, I would take off. And so we never got a chance. But we used to meet in Bombay in any case. So yeah, it's always great fun working with him.
Talking about your role, it's that of a politician, and it needs a lot of strength to play that, to be that strong, to be that vigilant. The dialogues, for that matter, they were so powerful. The way you're giving the dialogues, in front of the audience and all, and even in the, with your team and all, it's so powerful. Which politician inspired you for this role?
I have never till date ever watched anyone's performance as a reference point for any of the characters that I played. I have never done that. I don't believe in that kind of cinema. I believe because everyone has a different style of doing the way they do. And whatever's your inner strength should come out in that character, the character that you're playing. So I've never actually looked at any references ever before, or neither was this role written keeping anyone in mind. It was just of a powerful politician. That's what it was.
The shooting was not that easy for all of you, because of course we have been in this situation of COVID, and till date we are still wondering what exactly is happening. But how did you manage? Because you were not only working on this project, you had side by side Aranyak, you had something or the other keep on going on, being on reality shows or something or the other for that matter.
Well, I was one very, very strict on security protocols. I used to always, harass everyone saying that no one's going to come near me if they don't have a mask and things like that. And touch wood, I've not had COVID so far. And I intend keeping it that way. But I think even during Aranyak and even during KGF 2 while we were shooting, I think the units and even Netflix was very, very particular about safety. So that was priority number one. So I think that's why we've all been safe and successfully completed our shoots without any incident.
Aranyak, for that matter, I watched that series in one day. Like I just sat with my mom and we just wanted to finish it off because it was so interesting.
Thank you.
The way the stories was unfolding and the way even Ashu was there in the story completely. The thing entire. In fact, I'm waiting for season 2. I would be very honest about it. That role itself, you're playing such a strong pivotal role, and again, it's in the system, like playing the lady cop. So tell us something about that. How did you prepare? Because you're also traveling so much to be there, to dig information, to find out so many things. There is so much of scouting, what exactly happens and all. Till date, we don't know what exactly the second part is going to be of.
Even I don't know that though. But honestly, I think what intrigued me maximum about playing Kasturi Dogra was the fact that she's very, very typical of what a lot of our women go through as housewives, as moms, as career women.
Yeah.
It's that entire feeling, mixed emotion of wanting to be there full time for your family as well, wanting to be there and being successful at their work or whichever their chosen profession is, to excel in that. So that full entire situation, जिसे हम दुविधा कहते हैं कि here or there, and of course then you can't play the victim card of saying, oh, my son was sick, I had to be with him, because then your male colleague will score over you, kind of a thing. That whole mixed bag of emotions was something that I identified with. And if I could, then I know how many women, I mean our cops in real life, what they go through, and they have to put in so much effort. It's not only that they're thinking about, oh, I'm going to go sit behind a desk in an AC office and do my work. It's not that. They are there out on the streets, manning the traffic, they're running behind thieves. They have to be alert, they have to be physically and mentally fit. Because besides being physically fit, they have to be mentally fit, not to be aware and to be alert that the next bullet probably has their name on it. You don't know what they're dealing with in any given situation. So I think that's the kind of effort, and that really was something that I wanted to portray well. And I hope I could do a good job of that.
And in fact, the last scene makes me wonder what exactly is going to happen now, because that snow scene and that climax, I don't want to talk about. But at the same time, it made me curious. Like, Acha, will he be there in the second series or no? Because the equation has been so good between both of them, how it started and how it went off,
that
we really would want.
What is going to happen.
But is season 2 happening?
And season 2 is definitely happening, but when it's happening, we don't know.
Achha, so we have to wait for Raul for that.
there's so many expectations now that they want it to be, you know, at least 100 times better than what season 1 was.
Yeah.
So they're working on it.
Raveena, we have also seen you off late, like, you know, the kind of videos you post on social media, and especially the one video which you have not posted on social media but I saw on the reality show was with Sunny Deol. That performance, you know, which you guys did on stage, you know, it actually, of course, Saif Ali Khan's song, which was your song and Saif Ali Khan's song, and you know, that was so good. It was just like, you know, it felt like, when will we get to see you working with him also? Because, you know, it's been very long when we have not seen you both coming together.
Yeah.
So
in fact, a lot of movies, a lot of people have been saying, you know, you should start working with all your heroes again, and I think it'll be great if we all did a film together. In fact, originally in Imtihan, that is originally actually Sunny's song. And then later on, because I keep singing it, then Saif sings it. So it'll be great. I would love to work with all of them all over again. I'd love to work with Saif. I'd love to work with Sunil again. I'd love to, Sunil, I did that little bit now.
Yeah.
But it'll be so much fun to, reunite and work with all my
And
all
even
my
with
heroes.
Govinda, you have made such blockbuster films and all.
That's right.
And you know, it's been like, you know, somewhere we also like, you know, we feel like, oh my God, we have seen such good craft of work. And now also, it's not like, you know, industry has changed in terms of, you know, providing kind of projects, but at the same time it had a different feeling altogether, you know. So we want to see you, so which has been on your list somewhere where you want to work.
I hope the producers and directors are listening to this, Samina, because we are hoping for that as well.
And even Andaz Apna Apna 2 sequel might happen. You know, there have been a lot of talks about that.
Will we get to see you? It's been going on for the past 5 years.
Yes.
At least 5 years I've heard, so I don't know.
It's been going on and on. We'll see Ranveer, we'll see, you know, Ranveer, but we really don't know who we'll get to see.
Correct.
But will we get to see you?
I don't know.
Raveena,
maybe in a frame
Katrina,
somewhere in a frame, somewhere behind, maybe. I don't know.
But you know, that film, even now, if I just feel like, you know, if my mood is off, I can just go and watch that film. It's like that.
Yeah.
Even till date, the memes around it, you know. So how does that, you know, make you feel? Somewhere the film didn't pick up at that time, and suddenly it picked up so well.
Well, you know, I think I have a theory for that, because at the time when Andaz Apna Apna released, there were a lot of these double meaning dialogue kind of comedies and a little bit of buffoonery that was working. So when this clean family kind of oriented comedy came across with straight faced, you know, comedy, and not you know, that over the top kind of, it was a bit over the top, of course it was, but it was not that, you know, double meaning dialogues or obscenity that was funny. So I think it didn't work with the audiences. It was a sudden difference, you know, and that time they were not ready to accept something like this. But then later on it caught on so well.
But your role in Matra has been right now compared for Sakshi Tanwar's role in Mai. Like, you know, people are comparing her role to your role in Matra. So what do you have to say about that?
I haven't seen Mai, but I'm very happy that these kind of films and web series are still being made, because there's so much work on the awareness front that we still have to do about women's safety and concerns about their security, which I don't think really has changed much. So if you see a Matra event today, I think it's so much more relevant.
You also recently said that, you know, Prabhas, Yash and Ramcharan have become pan-Indian actors. When it comes to choosing any one of them, who would be your personal favorite if you had to choose?
I don't know, it's tough, because I think they're such gentlemen and they all suit the kind of roles that they're doing. So it's going to be very tough, but I'd love to work with all of them all over again.
And personal South Indian film which has been your favorite? I'm not trying to say that, okay, South Indian and North Indian like that, but of course, you know, there's some touch to that film.
It'll always be Bahubali for me. Bahubali 1 for me,
We also, like, you know, these films were not, you know, brought to, you know, Indian cinema like that, you know, this side, you know, Hindi film industry. So if you have to, like, reveal something, because of course, you know, your husband plays a very pivotal role in getting such films and such subjects, you know, to, you know, Hindi film industry. What do you have to say about that?
I think yes, definitely a lot of credit should go to him, because he has been instrumental in from bringing Bahubali to Pushpa to KGF 1 to all these films, you know, and believing in them and having faith. I mean, I really feel so proud whenever I go for a trailer launch or something, and the way Prashanth and Prabhas and you know, Rajamouli sir and Yash speak about Anil, it really feels great, because they thank him. And in fact, I remember Prashanth saying that, you know, when the first time I showed KGF KGF to Anil sir, it was 8 hours long, and he sat for all those 8 hours and watched the whole of KGF 1. And then, he still had that faith in us at the time when, even we weren't sure what we were doing, to bring us and make us, make this into a pan-Indian film. And I think that's the thing about Anil. He's very perceptive. He knows how and where and how to pick the kind of films that he does.
And if you had to bring one project to Hindi film industry, if you had to make one, which one would that be?
They're already being made. So I don't really know.
But no, someone which has been some film, or say any regional cinema, be it not only South, even Gujarati, even Punjabi for that matter, or even films made in Bengali. If one project you had to produce and direct at the same time.
I think for sure I would love to do a legacy on Raveena Thakur's actually entire legacy of stories, because that is something that is, whenever I read and pick up the stories that it's always something that is, it touches me very, very deeply. So I would love to do something like that.
Also, Raveena, the kind of films you have done, you have been a part of Bollywood for so long, but do you somewhere like the change which has happened of late, especially during this lockdown, films releasing on OTT, giving much importance to digital media as compared to, of course, theatres is something which we all love, going to theatres, but digital medium making more noise now?
I think it's a win-win situation for all, to be very honest. It's a busy time for our industry, which is great because so many actors have suffered during the COVID time. So many of them had so many debts to pay, so many of them had, unfortunately, so many of them lost their lives. I think it's a boon that the way OTT, and first it was TV channels and TV series, now it's all web series. So it's great that a lot of actors are getting a lot of work. This OTT platform has also brought about global cinema to our normal audience. We've got films from all over the world at our fingertips now, shows from all over the world at our fingertips, which actually in the 90s you only would wait for a film festival to happen to be able to catch a film from Iran or to catch a film from Turkey or from Russia or from somewhere. But now it's all there for you to watch. World cinema is there for you to watch. So I think it brings about a lot of awareness also to our audience. They broaden their horizons. They're seeing things made in different cultures, different stories. So now it's a time also for filmmakers to start experimenting. They're getting that little, that pressure of the box office thing is not on them. So on web series, they're getting that liberty to make things that they believe in, and they do have an audience also for it.
And personally, your work is something people still praise. I mean, praise as in, I'm not saying still, no, I should not be saying still, but of course, people praise your work so much that they actually copy your work. So it was Tip Tip Barsa Pani. It's not for the first time that we have seen, okay, now it's come in a movie for sure, but at the same time, even when we see reels and all, people do so many reels around it, Tip Tip Barsa Pani, and even Katrina Kaif, danced on it. What do you have to say about that?
I think it's wonderful. I think it's, I feel really honored because, again I said, for me it's a win-win because it brings a new life to the song. It gives it a good beat. The generations now identify with that song all over again. It's played at every party, and in the end, whatever and whoever, I end up owning it all over again.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a win-win situation. I walk in at any party and then at least 5 songs playing of mine.
Yeah.
I feel very honored. So I thank all the filmmakers who do this, really.
You've also lost your father during this process, and of course, that's been a very, but you didn't give up on, your work and your commitments. You stood strong. That is very, it's not that easy to be a part of that journey and still managing to be, away from it. How did you manage that?
I was just honoring his legacy. He always was a producer's director, always believed in that the producer comes first. You have to think about the producer's problems. I think I'll always honor his legacy.
And before I let you go, what are your upcoming projects you're working on, apart from Guduchadi?
Well, Gurchari is a comedy, as you know. There's another one called One Friday Night, which is again a thriller. These are the films that I'm doing. There is another very interesting script that I am now working on, which I think I'll start in October. So right now, yes, a bit of hands full, and then of course waiting for Aranyak too. So this year seems to be pretty full already. Let's see what else is exciting that comes along.
And wildlife excites you a lot, I must say that.
Yeah. I just run away into that's my zen time. That's my time.
And
So-
you have actually involved Sanjay Dutt also during your wildlife trip. That I saw the videos, and that
Yeah.
was like during the shoot and all.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that that is very good. But at the same time, thank you so much, Raveena,
Thank
for
you,
your time,
Sameena.
and all
Thank
the very
you.
best. Of course,
Thanks a
I'm going to
ton.
watch this one, and it's going to be a blockbuster, I'm sure.
Keeping our fingers crossed. We've done our best. We worked hard. We hope you'll appreciate and enjoy the film, and we pray for the best. Thank you.